This is going to be kind of a rant, and as a Dodger fan, I know I'm going to sound ungrateful considering the Dodgers just won the World Series, but in a lot of ways, Shohei Ohtani has ruined the Dodgers, or at least made it harder for me to root for them. Don't get me wrong, I almost cried tears of joy when the Dodgers finally won the World Series this year, and they probably wouldn't have done so if it weren't for Shohei. But thanks to all the attention he's brought to the organization this year, Ohtani has made going to games completely unaffordable. Thanks to the Otani Effect, Dodger games are now considered a luxury item. For as long as I can remember, the Dodgers have always arguably been the most popular team in Los Angeles, aside from maybe the Lakers, and I think a big reason for that is because they were always one of the more affordable teams in Los Angeles to go see live. My friends and I became Dodger fans in high school because we could get $6 tickets and take the bus for free. A bunch of broke high school kids like us couldn't afford to drop $100 on Lakers tickets, but we could all scrape together $6 around the house to go to a Dodger game. It's this sort of affordability that got people like us and families who could afford to take their kids to games to fall in love with the team because we got to experience the truly unique atmosphere of Dodger Stadium that kept us wanting to come back. Baseball isn't the most riveting sport, but Dodger Stadium has an aura to it, and because it was affordable, the Dodgers have always been pretty popular in Los Angeles. But never in my 25 years do I ever recall the Dodgers being considered a premium brand that everybody wants to get their hands on. Until Ohtani showed up. Ohtani made the Dodgers a global phenomenon. The Otani Effect at Dodger Stadium was real. As a part-time tour guide for the Dodgers, I can say from first-hand experience that a large percentage of our customers this year were people visiting from Japan. And it was cool to see how excited they were to be at Dodger Stadium. Baseball is Japan's #1 sport, and Shohei is considered a godlike figure in Japan. So now, not only did the Dodgers have a big fan base within their own city, but they also tapped into a new fan base of an entire country. The result was an unprecedented demand for Dodger baseball. It seemed like every game this year was now a big event that everybody wanted to get the chance to go to. And while this was super cool to see, Dodger games were no longer this low-key event you could scrape together a few bucks and go see with some friends. Dodger games were a commodity. They became the place to be, and it felt like the Dodgers were now marketed as a premium brand. There were more than a handful of games this season where the cheapest ticket to get in was over $100. And don't get me wrong, I know prices are driven by demand, but the demand for Dodger games this year was so high that your average group of high schoolers or a family of 4 were effectively priced out of the vast majority of games on the schedule. If you wanted to take your kid to a Dodger game, you could forget about going on a Saturday night against any half-decent opponent unless you wanted to dip into your kid's college fund. Even a random Tuesday night game against the Cincinnati Reds now cost at least $40 to get in, whereas last year that same game would have cost you $10. And we're only talking about the price of tickets here. The price of merchandise went up in 2024 as well, and if you plan on driving to the game, you better bring $45 because that's how much parking costs. And don't even get me started on the price of beer. Now, I don't want to complain because at the end of the day, I'm a Dodger fan and I would take Shohei Ohtani on the team in a World Series championship any day of the week. And as a part-time Dodgers employee, I still got to go to more than a handful of games and it was fun to be a part of and just see how much excitement Ohtani brought to the organization. But the reason I became a Dodger fan was largely because I could afford to. If it weren't for my job as a tour guide, I probably wouldn't have gone to very many games this year, if any. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe.